Hi there everyone, Josiah here from Womp Rat Creations, and today I'm going to show you how to build this lightsaber out of stuff I found at the hardware store. Plus, at the end of the video, there's a special giveaway announcement. Alright guys, so my lightsaber journey started with this. This is a 12-inch extension tube used for like sinks. I went to the hardware store and I found this and I said, this is the perfect base for my lightsaber. It's about the right size, the right diameter to fit in my hand nicely, and it's already chrome, so I don't have to paint it. So after I found this, I spent about an hour walking around the hardware store, probably looking like a real weirdo, trying on all kinds of different things to see what would fit on here and what I thought would look cool. That led me to a few things from the PVC plumbing area. This is a 1-inch to 3/4 adapter, and this I believe is called a repair coupling. I could be wrong on that, so don't quote me, but I thought it looked cool. So then I found this. This is a drain for a sink, and I thought it reminded me a lot of the top of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber from Return of the Jedi, which I've always really liked. So I picked this up, and then I found this. This is a knob for a sink that you would turn to turn the water on or off. And I know that the pommel for the original lightsabers were essentially the same thing. I couldn't find one that looked exactly like that. They're kind of vintage now and not really sold in most stores anymore. But this looked close enough, and I thought it looked cool. So my thinking for this is this will be my pommel at the end of the lightsaber. This will slide over and be like a hand grip for it. This will sit on top, and then this will be the emitter. Now, this is really tall, so I'm gonna have to cut some chunks out of this to make it a decent size. But I'm super excited about this. This should be a pretty easy build. And it was relatively cheap. If you go to your local hardware store and you have 40 bucks, you could pick up all of this stuff really easily. You could, if you spent more time, I'm sure you could find dozens of different variations that you could do for a really cool custom lightsaber. I also picked up this threaded rod. Now my thinking for this is this will go through the whole lightsaber. I will put a nut in the pommel that it'll screw into, and then I'll be able to screw it down from the top of the emitter, which will keep everything held together, so I don't have to super glue all of it together. So the first thing that I'm going to have to tackle is whenever you pick up these plumbing accessories, they always have these raised lettering on them from the manufacturer, which is fine when you're doing plumbing, but it's not very cool for a lightsaber. So the first thing I need to do is take those letters off. The way I'm going to do it is with something I haven't really talked to you guys about before. It is my handy dandy Dremel. This is a Dremel Light, and I love this. They're not a sponsor, they don't pay me to talk about it, but I really love this. This comes in handy so much. It's wireless, rechargeable, you can set it at different speeds, and it comes with all different kinds of attachments. Right now I have the sanding bit on there, and so I'm just going to use this to go through on the lowest setting because I don't want to go cut too deep on this. I'm going to go through on the lowest setting and take back those letters. That way we'll have a nice clean starting point. All right, the Dremel made pretty quick work of that. It is relatively smooth now, and so I can put these aside. And next, I need to turn my attention to the base of the lightsaber. As I said before, I'm going to have to cut some off of these because a lightsaber that is that big would be kind of ridiculous. Maybe for a double-sided lightsaber, but this is just going to be a single-sided one. So I decided that I'm going to cut this back to right where the threading starts, and then I'm going to cut about 2.5 inches off of this. So for that, I need to take out my miter box, or meter box, however you choose to say it. I need that and my trusty hacksaw. I am not looking forward to the work that's going to go into cutting this out because this is brass, so it's going to be a chore to get through. But this is plastic that's been coated in chrome, so this is just ABS plastic. This should be really easy to get through. So I'm going to start with this because I like ending on the easy thing. All right, so we have our two pieces now after more sawing than I was hoping for, but that's okay. We have our two pieces cut to size, and these two pieces I am keeping because I am definitely going to use these for something else. What is it? I have no idea yet, but I'm sure I will find something. Don't throw really nice pieces like this away. Find some way to store them for later. Especially something like this, I can guarantee you I'm going to use these in something. So I will put those away later, but for now, these are looking good. Next thing that I need to do is paint these, and I was debating on whether to go silver or what color to paint them, if I wanted it to be basically a silver lightsaber or not. But I think I want to add a little bit of different color. So I'm going to paint both of these black, just flat black. Yeah, I think it'll be good. I'm hoping it doesn't give it too much of a Sith vibe, but we'll see. I actually want to take the ends off of this and paint them separately, because I don't want to accidentally not paint enough of this and have some white showing when it's on the lightsaber. So I'm going to paint those three and this, and that should be all that's getting painted black. So I'm not going to pull out the paper for this because I shouldn't really need it. With stuff like that, you can just kind of hold it out. Yeah, you can just kind of hold it out and hope for the best. Then you can just flip it around. I'm getting a little bit of paint on my hand, but that's a pretty common storyline in my life. It's not that big a deal. All right, that is all black. I just need to get these. I'm gonna hold that with something else. Yeah. How do I want to paint those? I know. Oh, they aren't big enough. All right, so what you saw there was me trying to make a decision, because this was big enough to hold on to and spray one side and then hold on to the other side and spray that. But then I realized that I couldn't do that with these. These are so small that I wouldn't have just been getting a little overspray on my hand. I would have just been painting my hand, which I don't want to have to take care of later. So I went ahead and used some paper to spray these down just with the same flat black. I also painted my pommel black, but this is not going to stay black. This is a base layer. I'm going to hit it with some metallic paint, and as we all know from my last video, black makes an excellent base layer for, was it my last video? No, it was the one before that. The Mandalorian rifle paint up. In that one I explained that black is the base color to go with when working with metallic paints. Now, however, in the last clip you saw me pull something out to try to hold these to paint with, and I actually am going to use that for this to put the metallic paint on, and I wanted to show you guys because they're kind of cool. These are model makers tweezers, and they work in reverse to what regular tweezers work as. So regular tweezers, you squeeze and they close. These you squeeze and they open. So with that, I can squeeze and open them up into the inner opening of this and hold it away from my hands a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and paint that real quick. Yeah, I just thought these were nifty. I thought I'd share that with you guys. All right. And one thing to try to keep in mind when you're using metallic paints is you want to kind of go a little light with it. Just kind of dust it on a little bit. You can always add more, but in my experience, metallic paints can be pretty finicky and want to run very badly. That's probably good. So yeah, you want to go light with the metallic paints. So now all of my sections have been painted, and I think I can get on to the assembly of the base structure. Once I'm done with that, I'm going to dress it up just a little bit with some greeblies. So, on to assembly. I'm going to take my rod that I've already put a nut on, and then I'm going to drop my pommel on there, just like that. And then next is going to be the base. I can throw the hand grip on, start to reassemble that a little bit before sliding it on. There, you don't want to over tighten these because it actually presses down on the rubber sleeves that are in there and constricts. So once it's on there, I'll screw it down more so that it holds on to the lightsaber, but don't screw them down all the way before you put them on there because they won't slide on. There we go. Now I can tighten it down. There. We'll put the adapter on, and then we have the emitter. And let's see. That is looking pretty cool, but I don't know. Not quite liking it. The hand grip seems really big for that. Yeah, I don't like that. So I am going there we go. I'm going to figure something else out because I didn't like that. It wasn't a good look. I'm going to take some time to figure that out. I will be back when I have a solution. All right, so I figured it out. This was too big, too bulky. It's trash. Okay, I can't throw it away. This is too good of a piece. I'm going to use it for something. It's going with the cylinders from earlier, and I'll store it away later. But I figured out what I'm going to do instead. I had this coupling, this PVC coupling for pipe, and it fits perfectly on there, and it's not too bulky. It looks cool, and I really liked the dark metallic finish that I did on the pommel, so I went ahead and did that to the coupling, the adapter, and I like these pieces that came with the with this drain that I'm using as the emitter. So I painted those two and put them back on. So now I can finish the assembly. So I just need to put that on there, throw this on, make sure it lines up. There we go. All right, now I can take this whole thing. Oh, screwed up my alignment. There we go. All right. I need to get the bolt washer first. And then I need to get the bolt threaded on there. Oh, I dropped it. Hang on. I need my pliers. Hopefully it doesn't drop in there. All right, cool. Let's try to get this threaded on there. My dumb fat fingers are too big to fit inside the emitter, so I have to use this to get it started. Come on. It's on there. Okay, there we go. Now it's going. Now we are cooking with fire. All right, now let's make sure everything gets more or less lined up. That looks pretty good. Can use this to tighten it down. All right, we have a lightsaber. This looks super cool. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this down because right now it kind of slides. So I'm gonna use some super glue to glue that down, and then I can bust out some greeblies. I can't overdo this, but I am just going to use things from the hardware store, keeping in line with the theme of this video. All right, so I have my piece glued down now so it doesn't slide over the lightsaber, and now I'm going to go about adding some greeblies. These are going to be a little different than the greeblies that I normally use. I'm going to be using some hex cap screws just to add little details. They look like little knobs. They aren't easily identifiable as screws, where if I was using like a Phillips head or something like that, These are my go-to when I'm working with sci-fi stuff for screws, but they look like little knobs. So I'm gonna drill a hole or two in here, add a knob or two, and I think that'll really tie it together a bit. All right, and I know I should put this in a vise, but I don't have a vise, so it'll be all right. Start off slow. It'll be okay. There. See, I made it. Okay. All my fingers intact. Wow, that was weird. All right, I can get that started. And now, let's see. I need that and a bit that will fit. It's just a little too big. But you are the next smallest and you're too small. There we go. Now we can just screw that in. Hopefully it's not too long to interfere with the rod going through the center, because that would suck. Oh, I don't think it's hit the rod yet. Oh, it's going through the brass. There we go. Boom. It's a little knobby. And it looks like it serves some kind of purpose, which is the whole point of Grebe's. Now I'm going to add a button so I can turn on the lightsaber. And for that, I picked up a bunch of these a long time ago, and I don't remember what their real purpose is. This is some kind of electronic something. I know I got it from Home Depot. But what I've been using them for is I take my pliers and pull off. Oh. Come on. Almost. Almost there. There we go. I pull off the red plastic part. And it has a little metal something in there. Take that out. It does have some kind of like lubrication in there or something. Usually just wipe that off pretty quick. Then I use my flush cutters because it has these little tabs on the underside. Get rid of those with the flush cutters. Ooh, boom. Now we have a little red button. So I'm going to use that along with a grommet and the smallest hex cap screw that I have. So I'm going to use that. I'm going to drill a hole that fits this. I'm going to put this, the grommet, around it, and then I'm going to put the red cap right over it. So it looks like a button. Won't function as a button, but it'll look like a button, which is most of my job. Just make things look like something that they really aren't. Keep pushing. There. Kind of like that. And now I am going to use my trusty super glue to attach the button. There's that. Give that a spray. And I'm going to use my tweezers so my fat dumb fingers don't mess this up. If I can grab onto this correctly with the tweezers. There we go. All right. Go right on top. Boom. That looks pretty solid. Hold it there for a few seconds because I really don't want to mess that up. Put the glue back, tweezers and pliers back. Bum, bum, bum. That's a button, ladies and gentlemen. And it is just at the right size for my hand to be able to turn this on. There is one last Grebe that I'm going to add to this, and it's not a Grebe in the traditional sense that it's something that is supposed to look like it serves a purpose but really doesn't. This actually serves a purpose and is on just about every lightsaber there is, and that is a D-ring. You have to be able to hook it onto your Jedi belt. So I got this from Home Depot as well, in line with everything else, and not sure if no, you know what? I'm not going to use the Phillips head screws. I'm not going to be lazy. I am going to stay true to the aesthetic of this and use my hex cap screws. So I need to figure out where I would want that to sit. I think I also want it on this sleeve right here on the opposite side, because you don't want it on this side and then when you're walking it brushes against your leg and turns on your lightsaber and then you cut your leg off. Probably thinking too much into it, but I'm going to put it on this side. There we go. All right. And I think that's going to be it. I think this is my hardware store lightsaber. Pretty painless. No, okay. I had to. I can't resist. All right, guys. We have a lightsaber. It lives. It's nice and shiny. I like this. It kind of has a Sith vibe, but it's kind of minimalist. It's real sleek. I like it a lot. But I'm not keeping it. That's right, I'm not keeping it. I am doing a giveaway. I'm going to give this away to one of you guys. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is subscribe to the channel and like this video. That's it. If you've already subscribed to the channel, just like the video. On the 17th of June, which is this coming Wednesday, I will put all of you guys into a random number generator, and one of you will be randomly selected by the number generator, and then I will contact you for shipping details. It is You don't have to pay shipping, don't have to pay anything. I'll just need your shipping details after you win. Please don't send me your home address until I ask. I am really pleased with this. I want to thank you guys for all of your support. This giveaway is a way of me thanking you guys for your support. I would love to be able to do these giveaways more often. If you haven't already, go check out our Patreon page. That is another great way for you to support the channel and help to support me continuing to create content for you guys. And you also get some cool stuff back on Patreon. I won't bore you with the details. They're all there. They are all there. Go check it out. You can also visit us at wompratcreations.com. We have a store there with some merch and some other cool stuff. And then you can follow us on social media. I update those almost every day so that you can stay up to date on what is going on in the shop. Thank you guys so much for everything that you have done for me. Every like, every comment, every subscribe really helps me out. Until next time, I'll see you guys later. All right, guys. No, wait. No. Come on, I gotta get in it. I gotta get in it.